This is a monster wrestling contest, and the winner will become the new generation of wrestling king. This big shark with octopus arms is today's favorite to win the championship. It also has a resounding nickname of Sharby, and its opponent in the decisive battle is the defending champion Dog King. I thought it was a fierce game, but the game fell into a disadvantage at the beginning of the game, and was even beaten by the Dog King so that the audience couldn't even bear to look directly. Just then, a little girl stood up. He discovered that the flaw of the Dog King was that the Dog King would lick his nose every time he attacked. So the little girl turned out of the auditorium, and told Sharby about his findings during the intermission. Sure enough, in the second round, the Dog King sent a signal to attack. This time, he was prepared to kill the Buddha and easily escaped the Dog King's attack. Then he launched his tentacles to entangle the Dog King, and the Dog King was thrown into the sky, and then heavily. Smash. Just kill and win the championship. Raise the golden belt of honor. Seeing this scene, the audience instantly boiled. After 9 years, the town has won the championship again. Everyone thought that the town was back to its former glory, but in the next second, Sharby announced that he would leave the town and bring his talents to the big city to create even more brilliant achievements. The hero instantly became a traitor. Everyone's jaw dropped in shock. Their mood is like being struck by lightning, but what is even more desperate is that the wrestling ring has to be demolished in the world, because without the wrestlers, the town has lost most of its income and cannot pay the loan of the wrestling ring at all. Hearing this news, Winnie was the first to object, because the builder of the wrestling ring was his father, Lao Bai. Lao Bai once took wrestling, and the Sheep King won the championship for 9 consecutive times in the first round, dominating the entire wrestling league. But on the way to a battle, an unfortunate accident happened, and the town began to decline, until the appearance of the genius wrestler Stupid Bee. But what I didn't expect was the betrayal of killing the Buddha. Now, if you want to keep the wrestling gym, you have to train a champion monster again, so he returned home and found the coach's notes left by his father. He was going to the underground wrestling arena to find talented monsters. When he came to the arena, he began to record the data of each monster. After the game, he went to the locker room to negotiate with the monsters, and with his iron appearance and immature ideas, he was ridiculed by the monsters. He came to the bar to drink his sister for a long time, and at this moment, a monster caught his attention. It was actually the son of King Zero Yuan. Since King 01 disappeared with his father, he has also disappeared. It turned out to be here. Fake punches. Seeing this scene, Winnie hurriedly came forward to recognize him, and Brother GA didn't have time to pay attention to him. He was only thinking about how to be beaten by his opponent, as long as he lost the game. You can get paid, but I didn't expect him to knock down the opponent with a wave of his hand. Seeing this scene, the owner of the casino was very angry. I paid you to lose the night. I wanted to explain this, but the boss didn't give him a chance at all, and asked Brother GA to pay back 10 times. At this moment, Winnie fell from the sky. He promised to help Brother GA pay back the money, but as a price, he had to play a game with himself. Brother GA refused, because he had been living in the shadow of his father for so many years, and he didn't want to follow his father's old path. In the face of high compensation, he had to agree. In this way, one person and one beast rushed back to the town. I thought a few of them could show their talents, but I didn't expect him to be such a wasteful monster. You have never seen a girl who wanted to train her to be a social king, but he was too lazy. He slept every day, and even used I can't wake up from firecrackers. I can only pull a car pull-up once, and I can only do half a push-up with all my milk strength. It didn't take long for the monster to arrive. In the days of the wrestling competition, GAG's first opponent was a fierce goat monster. Seeing this scene, Brother GA was not interested at all, because he already had a plan against the enemy. At the beginning of the game, Brother GA played the script. Seeing such a poor performance, he was naturally provoked. He thought it was an insult, so he jumped. Jack was frightened, but luckily the bell rang and the first round was over. But at this moment, Xiaomei said that this is a regular game, only the winner can get the money, and there is not even a cent for the loser. He obeyed Xiaomei's tactics and ran away desperately in the second round, thus draining the goat monster's stamina. In this way, he ran 77.49 laps, and Jack barely won the race with the last bit of strength. The commentator said he had never seen such a bad game. This is an insult to the sport of wrestling, and it makes the people of the town even more hopeless. But unexpectedly, it aroused Jack's fighting spirit. He began to train with the devil. Although he tried various methods, he never made progress. This made Jack a little self-sacrificing. She thinks she can't be a good wrestler like her father after all, just when the two are at a loss. Xiaomei suddenly thought that she could start with check interests. Xiaomei accidentally saw Junji's flexible dance steps, and he understood it instantly. So Xiaomei combined dancing and socializing and formulated a new training plan. Unexpectedly, Brother GA really showed his talent. At the beginning of the game, he dragged his opponent to dance, which made the opponent's face bewildered and instantly disrupted the rhythm. In the end, Brother GA won the game with a hug. But this play, finally recognized by the people. They thought it wasn't a wrestling at all, but a farce. But Brother GA didn't care about other people's opinions at all. He still went his own way and kept training every day. In the next game, GAG used his unique wrestling dance to defeat many powerful opponents and directly entered the finals, and his final opponent was Sand Dollar, who had betrayed the town. On the second day, they went to training as usual, but found the demolition team. The training ground is being demolished, and it turns out that Sharby bought the wrestling arena in advance at a high price. At this time, the wrestling field was already full of explosives. Under the witness of the media, Killer Buddha activated the detonator, but there was no response at all. It turned out that it was Brother GA who unplugged the lead, and this little monster was going to challenge the world. The champion, everyone thinks that this is asking for his own death, and the opponent even disdains to compete with such a nobody. I'm the greatest, much to reseller of all time. Hearing this news, the residents of the town boiled instantly, and under the constant provocation of Brother GA, it also completely ignited the anger of killing the Buddha. They made a life and death decision. As long as Jackie can weigh in the ring for 3 rounds, he can kick the gym. In order to win the game, the residents of the town did not dare to relax. In view of the characteristics of killing Buddha, they built a devil training ground for Jack. Jij didn't hesitate and rushed in, and in a blink of an eye, it was the day of the competition. Jack walked into the arena with sunglasses on to the cheers of the audience. On the other side, Sandy held the gold waist high, but what he received was booze, and the game officially started. Late. The good ones were very capable of fighting and stood up quickly. Afterwards, Brother Ga competed seriously, and with his flexible dance steps, he perfectly avoided the attack of the Killing Buddha. The first round ended like this. Even if Killing Buddha was unwilling, he could only fight in the next round. Unexpectedly, during the intermission, the coach of Killing Buddha formulated a new tactic. Sure enough, in the second round, Brother Ga those who were killed were entangled. It turned out that the sand wall was already prepared. He also trained for Jack. In the face of the sand wall's attack, Gag could only be beaten passively and was powerless to fight back. Killing Buddha found the right time to wrap his tentacles around Gag's neck, and he was about to die here. The bell rang again, and Brother Ga was rescued, but if it goes on like this, Brother Ga will definitely die in the next round. Winnie didn't want to let Brother Ga have an accident, so he wanted to throw a white towel and give up the game, but Brother Ga stopped him. Look at the father's portrait. Hearing the applause again, he decided to continue standing. This time, Brother Ga didn't dodge, but chose to confront Sharpie head-on, so Killing Buddha was caught off guard, and the two of you came and I was evenly divided, but I didn't expect Brother Ga to make a mistake or be forced to seize the opportunity and almost killed Brother Ga. Although at a disadvantage, Brother Ga still took the opportunity to catch the tentacles that killed the Buddha. Jack suddenly had an idea and pressed his tentacles on the pillar, and then Jack climbed onto the pillar to prepare for the top of Mount Tarzan. In this way, the two collided heavily, and then both fell down. Not long after Killing Buddha got up, and Jack was still in a coma. At this moment, the gym burst into neat applause. In the continuous encouragement of Brother Ga, in the next second, Brother Ga was resurrected with full blood. Seeing this scene, Killer was completely furious, but it also revealed his flaws. Jack found the right time to turn it into a rebound that flew out and buckled the rope, and he released his ultimate move. In the end, Brother Ga defeated Sharpie, raised the golden belt symbolizing glory, and also protected the wrestling arena. Even if it is a waste of wood, as long as you don't accept your fate, you will have the opportunity to create your own myth. The world is uncertain, you and I are both dark horses.